What do you think? I don't know if you're a student of footy or whether you watch an enormous amount, but what do you think when you see Sam Darcy come back and play in the manner that he is, and the start of the season as well when he took all before him? What's your thoughts on him and where can he get to?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting question. I mean, especially when I was younger, I was a massive student of the game. I love watching other key forwards. I like to take bits away from other key forwards, but he is just an absolute unicorn, alien of a player, isn't he? I mean, I've watched his behind the goal, and there's a lot of guys at his height, but like the way he moves and the way and how good his hands are. I mean, I don't think there's a player you can really compare him to at the moment. I think his ceiling is higher than any player in the competition, and it's he's going to be a nightmare for key backs over the next 10 to 15 years and opposition coaches. I mean, I don't know how you stop him. He seems like a good kid. He works really hard, and he's got really good forward craft. So, yeah, I mean, he's got. I was going to say he's got everything, but no player's ever had what he's had. So, yeah, it's a pretty scary proposition, and yeah, I love watching him play. To be honest, he's a gun. He seems like a good kid, and he's got all the ingredients to be an absolute superstar of the competition.
What's your view, Pat?
Yeah, he's pretty special. Well, I think what's underrated with him is how aggressive he is too. Sometimes you can just get these tall guys that, they've got all the attributes, but what's underrated is his aggression. Like, you watch him when he rips back to goal and he pushes off the opposition. Like, he's got some serious craft. So, I know, as you get older, you love seeing these guys come in, and I think if you watch all sports, there's just, you look at the basketball, there's that Wemby. So guys like that, they're just these tall athletes coming in. So he'll change the game, and he's going to be special, so I wish him all the best. How's your form going, Pat? Is this time last year you're on your way to a record-breaking Brownlow counts? It's not quite that season. What's your own reflection of your game? Yeah, it's probably similar to Hogs, a bit patchy, I think. Look, I feel like I've been solid and getting my role done, but I haven't really got to the level I was last year, I don't think. And yeah, there's two ways I look at it. There's one, I feel like as a midfield group, we're actually going better this year in terms of. I think George Hewitt, Adam Chera, Tom Niccone, I think they're in career best form, and being part of that unit has been really, really fun. But yeah, I feel like I've got a few levels to go yet. I feel like I'm putting some really good quarters. I felt like the first quarter on the weekend was, when I was at my best. But I haven't strung a full game together yet. But yeah, the next month's going to be really important. My body feels really good, so I'm really excited for the next month ahead. Is there any reason why it's been elusive? So you have had a different role as we've looked at it from the outside, perhaps. I mean, I imagine you're a bit of a perfectionist by now. What's your own diagnosis on it? Yeah, I played a few different little roles, but I'm at the stage of my career, like, whatever I need to do to help the team win, like, I'll do that. Had to go forward a few times, enjoy going to ruck every now and then, but it's also these other guys are really stepping up, like George Hewitt and Adam Chera. Like, I think their year's pretty special. So if you look at it as a whole, as a unit, I actually think we're going better. So, I'd rather be a part of a team sort of unit that's going better than, just me dominating and we're not quite going there. So at the same time, I still hold myself to a pretty high standard, so I feel like I can still level up a bit. But yeah, I'm pretty happy for those guys the way they're playing as well. Jumped out of the blocks the last couple of weeks, sort of put it away early and then just got there. Is there a reason for that, or is it a concern at all? That's probably the question I'm asking myself as well, to be honest, Gary. But I look at it glass half full. I feel like the power we're playing with at the start of games, we've done that all year, so we know what our best looks like. It's just bridging that gap, and whether that's just a mental blockage or just consistency, I'm not too sure. But what I see is a really high ceiling. So that's what the next 4 weeks is going to be really important. We can bridge that. I feel like we can do some damage. Yeah, they're big weeks ahead, aren't they? They're big weeks ahead. The Giants side of things, Jesse, it's been a little bit all over the place. The hint of what we saw on Saturday is probably the team you've been for a couple of years now. Can you level it out and get into contention? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a bit of a trend that Adam and all the players wouldn't be necessarily happy with. I think this time last year and the year before, we were in similar positions where just inside the 8, just outside the 8. Our best is very, very good. Our worst, we're losing to teams that we really should be beating. So obviously we'd love to be in that kind of top 6, top 4 bracket, but we take a lot of belief out of the wins that we have had this year. I think we've beaten the top 3 teams this year, 2 of them away. So we know our best is our best. No, you're never going to blame having cavalry out, having certain players out, which we've had, but so is every other team. So, we're reviewing each game, extremely closely and just trying to
fine-tune our game and figure out where we're going wrong and how we can kind of springboard into the back half of the year and put ourselves in that kind of top 6, top 8 contention and play finals footy. But our best is clearly good enough, and we know that, but our worst is probably too far at the moment. So we're just trying to bridge the gap, and this week will be a perfect opportunity for that. I think Gold Coast, especially in the midfield, I think they're probably one of the best midfielders in the competition, and they've showed that in the early half of the year. So, we're really excited for it. We're not a team that shies away from these opportunities, and going into our bye would be a huge win for us, but we know it's not going to be no easy feat. It's the expansion cup, as some call it, but we take a lot of pride in it. They're an extremely good side, and, we think our best is very good, so it should be a really good battle.
Hey, so just one last one, and it is great to talk to you because your story is, I think, an instructive one right now for Jamarra Ugle-Hagan. You burst onto the scene at Melbourne and had, your challenges at Fremantle, and you got given a lifeline, and now, you're not the best key forward in the game, in the top 2 or 3. If Jamarra was here, if he's sitting at home, he's looking at this and listening and watching, what advice would you give to him?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, I don't know. I've met Jamarra a handful of times, so I don't know him that well to talk the ins and outs of it. But I think the biggest thing for me when, I was going through a rough patch was I just lost passion for the game. I didn't enjoy the grind. It was, it became really tough, and that's when my mind kind of wandered, and I didn't really enjoy going to work. I didn't enjoy getting to the club. I just wasn't enjoying the small things that when you were 16, 17 that I did enjoy. You love just being around the club, being around the boys, talking about anything, and enjoying working hard and earning it. So for Jamarra, I think he's a star and he's a good kid. I've met him. He's a nice guy, and he's got the world's in his hands. I mean, he can be an absolute superstar of the competition. But I think until you figure out the smaller things, and you can really just strip it all back and start to enjoy those things and put really good people around you, like a small circle of 5 or 6 people that you can really trust, it can get really hard. So I'm sure there's people in Jamarra's corner that care for him deeply. And like I said, he's a good kid. I think I've said that about 6 times now, but he is. He's 23, 24 now, but yeah, he can make it work. Absolutely he can. He's a star. So yeah, just really enjoying the smaller things and stripping it all back and just having a really small circle and, just enjoying it again. And easier said than done, but, it can be done. And I can't wait to see him come back and become the player that I know he can, and that the AFL world hopes he can be, because he's got all the ingredients for it. And, I was going to say he's a good kid again. And I'm like, that's about 9. So, but he's got it. He has. He just, and to step away from the game, will be good for him. And I think we're going to see the best version of him.